welcome to another layout. Now this one is a quick one, I'll be honest with you, it just come together really quickly. This is using the Uniquely Creative High Tea collection, and I find when I pull out, I've said this before, I find when I cut a cut file, if you want to know the quickest way to possibly make, oh, that was Jen's noodles, sorry about that, and if you want to create layouts really quickly, buy a collection. I don't mean buy all of the bits, like I'm not talking about buying all the ephemera and all the everything, but if you buy the paper pack, you are able to pull together a layout super quick. I mean, look at this background. It's done. It's beautiful. Like, you don't even need to do much to it. Now, I cut out this cut file. It's called Dogs Are My Kind of People because, you know, I've got 4 dogs and, you know, they are adorable in their own way, and sometimes, let's be honest, peopling is just too hard. It's just too hard. And when my anxiety is really high and whatnot, unfortunately, I just want to curl up in a ball and just do dog time. Just play with the dogs. It's great. Now, I am busily working on a lot of things in the background today. So I am doing these voiceovers first thing this morning. I managed to smash out 4 videos yesterday. The reason I was able to smash out 4 is because if you plan ahead, it makes it a much more successful scrapbooking session. I've had a few people ask me, how do you get so many layouts done? How do you do it with so many different styles? It looks like there's so many different styles. I don't think I necessarily have a different style. I can adapt myself to full-on florals like this piece of paper, or I can just go complete full mixed media. That's just who I am. That's my brain. That's how it works. I find if you plan ahead, so I don't mean print out 300 photos because that is so overwhelming. If you want to print 300 photos, fantastic. But with that, just put aside maybe 10 photos and then put the others, just keep them in their packet and focus on those 10 photos and focus on maybe the 2 or 3 layouts you're going to get those 10 photos on. And then if you've got a cricket like I have a look. Have a look in the different places. This one is a Pear Tree Cutfile. They have got amazing cut files over there. Honestly, if you've got a cricket or a Silhouette Cameo or a Brother Scanning Cart or any electric cutting machine, go over there and have a look in their store. They've got amazing, amazing, amazing cut files. And they're not all just words like this. Like, there's other things on there. Have a look. You will be very, very surprised at how adaptable these cut files can be. Now, I wanted to go down a path with this because 1, I'm scrapbooking a boy dog. 2, I wanted to use all the florals, all the roses, but I wanted to make sure I kept it in a more masculine color. So the background is the grays and the moody grays, and I do bring in, I felt like, to be completely honest, you could stop there. That would be great. That would be a really pretty cut file, a really pretty layout. But obviously I always take it to the next level. I did feel like I wanted to bring some of that darker gray, that darker sort of, this particular lot of color, you could either go sort of the mauves and the lilacs, sort of go that direction, or you could do the blue grays, or you can do like the Lost Shadow, just tone on tone, sort of, you know, just to darken it up. So I went down the path of using some hickory smoke, some iced spruce, and some Lost Shadow. That's what I used. And this is just an offcut. This is why I say don't throw things away, because even though you might think to yourself, oh, I'll never use that, it's just a waste, you know, you might, if you print cut files like this or cut files like this, you might just use that up. So this is where I start bringing it all together. As you can see, I've used the piece that I cut my title out of is going to become my border. So there's no waste there. Get it down. This is when I decided to go around. I distressed the edges and then I went around the edges with the hickory smoke just to give it a little bit of a darker, more of a shadow. Now, this is when I start building my layout. Now, this one, I got to say, super quick. I have sped this up. This layout actually took me 40 minutes. 40 minutes from start to finish because I pre-planned. Because sometimes when I scrap, I like to just sit down and just have a no-brainer. Don't think about it. Just do it. Let's see where we go with it, right? But then there's times where, like today, I actually want to get a few videos in. See, I thought that would be the color and it's not. It's not the color. Now, I'll draw your attention to what I'm using there. I've actually gone out of my way and I've laminated just some photocopy paper and to create some sort of a more solid plastic surface to put my inks on. Does that make sense? So to give myself a bit of a palette that I can actually play on. I'm still using my packaging, my old package. There's some right now. I'm still using it, but I've been feeling a little bit lately like I knew I needed to upgrade that brown piece of. It was like a placemat. It's a messy mat is what it was, and I can't find another slick one like that. So I've decided, you know what, I've got a laminator. Why don't I just do that and see how that works for the time being? You can always wipe it down clear. I put some white paper in the center of it so I can see what colors are actually on it easily, and I can see if it's clean or not, so that I'm not contaminating as well. So let's see how this works. If this works, you know what, it's cheap and it's not a problem. Now, as you can see, this is darker than I probably really wanted it to go. And some of you might look at that and go, oh, you just wrecked it, Karen. You know what? I was feeling the same vibes. At this point, I was thinking, you put the wrong one down. But once I put the cut file on top and put the photo of Gizmo on there, and I do come in with some white splatters. Now, I'm trying to, because that piece on the back is not a full sheet, it's wanting to buckle a little bit because the papers from Uniquely Creative, they are beautiful, they're wonderful, they're a nice quality, but they're a paper. They're not a cardstock. So they do not take kindly to lots of wet mixed media, and I didn't put any gesso down. So I didn't prep this paper whatsoever, but it's held it really well, and it's great. So this is where I wanted to come in. I needed to do some embellishing of some description, not too much, just a little bit. That's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to put something underneath Gizmo there, where he is there. And sorry, I've got a really dry mouth. I don't know why. Oh dear. Right, so I wanted to put a little something there, but I didn't want to go over the top with flowers. I know I've used the flowers in the cut file, but it doesn't look over the top. It doesn't look like, you know, red roses, you know, miniature red roses. It's color, but it's not too much. Am I right? Do you feel the same way? I think it works. Look, he's a white dog, so he's a really easy subject to scrapbook, which is fantastic. Hence why I scrap him a lot, because I adore him. He is beautiful. He does have a lump on his side at the moment though, guys. I will be honest with you. He does have a bit of a lump, and Taylor will be making a vet call today. I only felt it. Hopefully it's nothing, but he's our main man. So we've got to get him into the vet and get it checked, and hopefully it's nothing. So if there's any vets that watch my channel, I'm sure there's not. I'm pretty sure there's not, but you never know. Someone, or maybe a vet nurse, you know, let me know. Make a comment for me. I'm hoping that everything's all good. I did decide I'm playing here. I'm auditioning pieces for something down the bottom there, and nothing was really working. And I think the reason it wasn't working is because I've written on the little tag, I've put the twine through it, I've put some florals at the bottom of it over the E and the P, and there's a little bit up the top there under the S, and I just don't think it needs the third. It's a rule of three thing that we always talk about. You hear us banging on about it all the time, and it's because it's pleasing to the eye, but I actually don't think it needs it. I think it's just fine by itself. That's when I realized, you know what it really does need is some white splatters. So I poured in my Montmartre Studio acrylic paint. It's called titanium white, and it has got a full opacity. It is I don't know how to say that. It's fully opaque. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you put it down and when you splat it, and believe it or not, I've had a shower and I've still got the splats on me. I'm still finding little white splats. So it's really good. It stays on top of everything, which is fantastic. So then I just I did come in with just a little bit more, and just to give it a few bigger sort of splotches. I didn't want to come in heavy with, you know, flat back pearls or enamel dots or anything like that, because I think the layout actually looks quite pretty just the way it is. So this is it, guys. This is my layout, and just to show you how it come together, super duper simple. Don't always overthink it. Just, it's all good. And it's quite a feminine, high tea paper pack. So, you know, yeah, I love it. Give me a thumbs up if you got value from this video, and like, subscribe, share, all that sort of fun stuff. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thanks for that, guys. Bye for now.